Friends, I feel like I may have neglected you by not covering this topic sooner. I'm talking about the ideal temperature for serving wine. Notice I did not say the proper temperature. Propriety is not our #1 concern on this program, obviously. But if we're going to spend our hard-earned money on a nice bottle of wine, it makes sense to treat it right. And the least we can do is serve it at the best possible temperature. So let me start with a couple observations. If you serve a wine too warm, it's going to taste flat, and it's just not a refreshing beverage. On the other hand, if the wine is served too cold, it's going to mute the flavors, and your tongue and your nose cannot pick up on the nuances of the wine. So let's talk temperatures. For a sparkling wine, you want to serve that between 40 and 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Sparkling wine is best with a nice chill on it. For a still white wine, you don't want that right out of the refrigerator. It's a little too cold and you won't be able to taste it. Serve those between 45 degrees and 52 degrees Fahrenheit. And what about red wines? Well, everybody knows you serve those at room temperature, right? Wrong. Come on. Name one drink that tastes better when it's warm. Okay, maybe coffee. Oh, and I like a nice cup of hot tea. Okay, but definitely not wine. Now listen, this whole room temperature thing is a myth, or more like a misunderstanding, really. The notion of serving red wine at room temperature actually goes back to the Middle Ages, where the average room in your stone chateau or abbey was significantly chillier than the 72 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit that we see in today's houses. So that's where the term room temperature came from, and it does not apply today. Red wine should ideally be served between 60 and 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Now these temperature ranges are really just guidelines. As a general rule, the lighter bodied the wine is, the cooler you want it to be within these ranges we talked about. So if you have a nice light bodied wine like a Pinot Noir or a Riesling, you want to chill that a little more. If it's a full bodied wine, say a Merlot or a Shiraz, then you don't need to cool it quite as much and it'll be fine at a little bit higher temperature. But still, with red wines, keep it in that 60 to 65 degree range. And here's a pro tip for you supermarket wine shoppers. If you've got a low quality wine, chill it a little more. Remember, the cold mutes the flavors, and for your $7 supermarket special, that's probably a good thing. So unless you have a nice temperature controlled wine refrigerator in your house, you're probably going to have to use your normal kitchen refrigerator to chill these bottles. For a red wine, pop it in there 20 to 30 minutes before you open it, and it'll be at the right temperature. For a white wine, store it in the fridge and then take it out 10 minutes before you drink it to warm it up just a little bit. Now, if you're a little obsessive like me, you can go pick up one of these at the local hardware store for about the price of a bottle of wine. It's an infrared thermometer. It's good for cooking, but it's also great for measuring the temperature of a bottle of wine. It also has a cool laser you can use to play with your cat. I also highly recommend you pick up one of these. It's a wine chiller. So once you've chilled your wine down, you can take the bottle and put it in there. And there's a vacuum barrier between the two walls that's going to keep it at the right temperature for much longer after it's out of the refrigerator. This one's plastic. You can also get them in stainless steel if you're trying to class it up a little bit. But I like the clear one because then I can see the bottle and I can see how much wine is left. Okay, I feel much better now that we have that out of the way. Now we know what temperature to serve different types of wine at, and we busted that ridiculous myth about serving red wine at room temperature. So, go chill down a bottle of your favorite red and have a great week. Enjoy.